back to Guitar Shed videos. Today we're actually doing a lesson that I've wanted to do for a very long time. It's just haven't really gotten around to it up until now, but fortunately I finally did. And what this video is the three most fundamental guitar scales that you're going to use in most forms of guitar playing. So what we're actually going to cover today is going to be the natural major scale, the pentatonic major scale, and the harmonic minor scale. Now each of these kind of has its own little nuances and everything, so we'll sort of discuss those as we go through and discuss what each one does, how it can be used, the forms of music that it's most commonly used in. And what we'll go ahead and do now is just kick it straight off with the natural major scale. Now just so you know, for reference, the guitar I'm using in all of these demonstrations is actually tuned to D rather than E, but I'm going to give you the string names as if it was tuned in E, just to make it a little bit simpler for those of you guys who, are probably using standard tuning. So what we're going to go ahead and do for the natural major scale here, we're going to base it on the 9th fret of what on your guitars is probably the E string. So just a basic idea of what it is, the formula for the natural major scale is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So you're actually going to wind up with 2 wholes, then a half step, 3 wholes, and then a final half step to bring to the final note. So if you're basing that, again, with the root note on the 9th fret of the E, what that's actually going to wind up being is very simply, and I'll just play it through slowly for you, and then we'll cut to the demonstration where it'll speed up over a progression. So what that'd be, 9th fret on your E, 11th fret again on the E, 8th fret on the A, 9th fret on the A, 11th fret on the A, 8th on the G, 10th on the G, 11th on the G, and that brings you through the entire natural major scale. The natural major scale is a really cool scale just because it can be used in pretty much any form of music, any genre. It's going to be applicable over a series of major chords. So it's a really cool scale, very, very versatile. You can get a lot of use out of it, and you can do a lot of improvisation with it. So we'll go ahead and cut to the demo, and we'll then proceed with the pentatonic major. On to the pentatonic major scale. The pentatonic major scale is really, really cool. It's one of the more common scales that's used especially in blues, rock, and to an extent heavy metal improvisation. You probably have heard a lot of pentatonic major being used in music that you listen to, everyone from especially Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. Some blues musicians do use it quite heavily. And if you're into like more, heavy metal stuff, a lot of older metal bands don't make quite as much use of it as they do other scales, but Black Sabbath has been known to use it, their guitarist Tony Iommi. And also for more modern metal, Children of Bodom, Alexi Laiho, lead guitar on that, is pretty partial to using pentatonic major for some sweep picking work. So the pentatonic major is kind of neat once you know the natural major scale, which we just covered, because you can construct the pentatonic major entirely from a natural major scale. What it is it actually uses the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th positions of the natural major scale that we just covered to construct a 5-note scale. And that's actually where it derives its name. Penta is actually from Greek, meaning 5. Now, a pentatonic scale is actually a 5-tone scale. The other scales that we're covering, the harmonic minor and the natural major, are what are called octonic scales, oct again meaning 8 as in octagon, meaning 8-tone scales. So the pentatonic major is really cool just because it only even has 5 notes to it, meaning it's very, very simple. You can use it very readily again over a progression of major chords. So again, it's one of those things that once you know the natural major scale, you pretty much know the pentatonic major scale. The formula for it is very similar, but again, we're cutting out the 4th and 7th positions. So what you actually wind up with is whole step, step and a half, whole step, step and a half. And for the demonstration we're going to be doing today, we're going to base the pentatonic major scale that we're playing, again, on the 9th fret of what on a standard tuned guitar would be the E string. And let me just run that through for you here real quick to explain what that's going to wind up looking like. So, starting out just the same as the natural major, we'll have 9th fret, E string, 11th fret, E string, 8th fret, A string, then we're going to jump to the 11th fret on the A string, followed by the 8th fret on the D. So that's going to be what creates that difference between the natural major and the pentatonic major, is that we're cutting some notes out and increasing the interval. When you increase the interval in a scale, you add a lot of sonic characteristic to it because it very sharply contrasts notes that are right next to each other within the scale, because there is such a wide gap between them, even more so than in, say, like a whole tone scale. So we're going to go ahead and cut to the demonstration, and then when we get back, we'll cover the harmonic minor scale. Last but not least, we have the harmonic minor scale, which is actually a variation on the natural minor scale. All it really is the natural minor scale with a raised 7th. So it creates a larger interval between the 6th and the 7th notes, which gives the harmonic minor scale its really distinct, kind of exotic sound. And I'll play through what that sounds like for you here in a minute. As far as the usage of it, this one isn't quite as widely used as the pentatonic major and the natural major that we've gone over so far in this video. But what it is it's very commonly used in heavy metal, hard rock, and more modern rock. So, being in that I know a lot of you guys who watch my channel are actually more, heavier music aficionados, it seemed logical to include this one with the more fundamental guitar scales for that type of music, because pretty much everybody in, the heavy metal world and the hard rock world makes use of the harmonic minor scale at some point. So it's actually a really simple scale. For these purposes here, we're going to be basing it again on the 9th fret, but instead of the E string, we're going to base it on what would on a standard guitar be the A string. So what the formula for it is, you're going to have, from the root note, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, step and a half, and then another half step to bring it full circle. So as far as the fingerings go, what that's going to wind up with, again starting on the A string, 9th fret, to the 11th, 12th, moving on to the D, 9th, 11th, 12th, in exactly the same pattern. On the G, we're going to play 10th and 11th. And you can hear what I'm talking about with that more exotic sound that you get, mostly because of that interval differentiation between the 6th and the 7th position. So it's a really cool scale. It lends itself really well to improvisation. And if you want to get an idea of what that can sound like, you may have noticed that I did a little playing intro at the beginning of this video, the little black and white clip that was in there, and that was actually all based on an improvisation of the harmonic minor scale. So to give you an idea, and that was just a very basic improvisation, so to give you an idea of, how it can be used, you can take another look at that. So we'll go ahead and cut to the demonstration, and then we'll come back here to wrap it up. Alright, so there you have it, guys. The three most fundamental guitar scales. You've got the natural major, pentatonic major, and harmonic minor. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Hopefully it kind of demonstrated to you some of the usages of these scales and how to play them in, more simplistic terms and patterns. So, like I said, hope you enjoyed the video. For those of you who have been watching Guitar Shed for a while, you may have noticed that we kind of went for a little bit higher quality in terms of the technical aspects of this video this time around, and that's something we're going to be trying to do a lot more with. I feel at this point that, just sitting down in front of the camera and doing a one-shot take like I've been doing isn't really getting across, as much information as can be gotten across to you guys through the video format. So, look for some changes in that down the road. As we continue to improve the overall quality and the the amount of information that's in each video. Hopefully you liked the video, as I said. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll also put links down in the description to the Guitar Shed Music website and also the Facebook page. You can also follow us on Google+. I just started using that social platform not too long ago here. So lots of ways to interact. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the new video format, what you liked, what you didn't like. So hope to see you guys in a future video. Until then, enjoy your guitar playing, keep practicing, and have a great day.